Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Rachel here with Makers Gonna Learn, your ultimate die cutting community. And we are actually gonna be making a really fun video today, all about how to make a very easy wreath from things you can find at the dollar store and also your Cricut. So we're going to be making an awesome wreath. We found a wreath for me there at the dollar store and some really fun kind of evergreen springy summer flowers, and we're going to turn this into a beautiful finished floral project. And we're also going to add a little wood plate with some paint on it, and we're going to add a iron-on vinyl word, and we're using one of our fonts, one of over 250 fonts we have over at Makers Gonna Learn. If you guys want to know more about that, click the very first link in the description below. We have over 1,300 cut files, 250 fonts, printable guides, members only Facebook groups, free commercial licensing, and so much more to see over there. So definitely go check that out. But anyways, guys, we're gonna jump into it. I'm really excited for today's video. I'm gonna get into the supplies we need to make this, and then we're just gonna kind of jump into it. So you're gonna need the baby Easy Press. This is the Easy Press 2 6x7. Her name is Stella. And we also have the little mat because we will be ironing on this little wood piece, and we did get this in a 3-pack from Hobby Lobby, but we had one here in the craft studio, so I don't have the packaging or anything to show you. It was just like a little scrap piece. You need your hot glue gun, the wreath form. We found this at the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some floral wire cutters, some scrap HTV. We're going to be using glitter, black glitter HTV. I'm excited for that. Paintbrush, some paint. We're just using Americana paint in white to paint our little wood piece here. And then you're going to need flowers, of course, and you're also going to need to be a yearly member of Makers Gonna Learn in order to get access to this amazing font we're using. If you're not a member of Makers Gonna Learn, what are you waiting for? If you're a monthly, 6-monthly member and you want access to fonts like this and over 200 more, then definitely go ahead and upgrade your membership to the yearly tier. There's so many awesome perks you get as a yearly member, one of those being fonts. So today we've used the font Ballin'. It is one of our fonts that Makers Gonna Learn, and we just had the word bloom here. Now this could be for spring, for summer. You could leave this up all year, whatever you wanted to do. I didn't want to do a word that was too springy, like the word spring or anything like that. So I just went with bloom. I thought it was really pretty, and I love our font here. It's like a thicker cursive font, and we're going to jump into Design Space as well and show you guys how to do all of that. But first things first, we're going to go ahead and paint our little wood piece first. You guys know if there's any painting to do in any project, do it first so it can be drying as you're crafting, as you're cricketing, and all of that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and paint our little wood piece. So here we are, and I have got a little piece. Oh my goodness, look at our dirty tabletop. Good grief. I have got a piece of printer paper here to protect our wood piece and apparently to make the table look gorgeous. So we have got our little piece here, and we're just going to shake up our paint a little bit. I don't know why I do this. You don't have to, but if you haven't used it in a while or it's brand new, you might want to go ahead and try that. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to spread some paint on this. Some people are probably screaming like, Rachel, do not do that. I don't want to waste one of my paint palettes and have to wash it again, and I also don't want to have to waste a whole plate that I have, for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this, and we have a lot left over, and that's totally fine. You can open up the bottle, and you can put your paintbrush in there and scrape the sides so that you get that excess off of there. So I'm going to pull it up here. I'm going to make sure I've got the sides good. And of course, I'm not going to leave the front like this. I'm going to finish it, guys. I promise. But just make sure you're getting all of the edges good. And again, this is just Americana paint, multi-surface acrylic paint here. We're just going to use this. And I'm just going to do one coat, okay? You might be able to see a little bit of the wood grain under it. That's fine. Welcome even. I do love to see some wood grain, and I'm going to get my hands painted on for sure, but that is just part of it. And I'm just going to do that, and you can take up all of the excess and pop it right in your bottle by scraping it. And I'm just going to kind of make it look a little cleaner on top here, and just do some brush strokes from one side to the other. And once you have done this, and once you're satisfied with the way it looks, go ahead and let this dry, guys, okay? I really like the way it looks. I like that you can kind of see the wood grain under it. You can give it another coat if you want to, or guys, you can use stain. You know we love our jackal bean stain, so you can do that if you want to. Just whatever you want to do to paint your little wood piece. So go ahead and let this dry. And while our little wood plaque is drying, we're going to go through and cut off all of our flowers that we want to use today. So I have these. I've tried to buy 2 of each. So I've got 2 of these, guys. I only found 1 each of these, but that's okay. And then 1 of these. So here are the colors that we have. I think they're so pretty. I love them together. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start with 1, and we're just going to start cutting, okay? And sometimes I like to take the little green part here and push it all the way up, and sometimes I like to leave it down. I don't want too much green, and I don't, you know, sometimes I want a little variety. So I'm going to push this one up, and I'm going to cut this off with only like this much room, okay? I'm really not going to leave a ton of room, like an inch, inch and a half, you know. That's about an inch and a half there, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut these all just like that. Just give it a little bit of room there, not too much. I'm not going to go longer as I start cutting. I have a bad habit of doing that, so I'm going to make sure I'm keeping it pretty short here. I'm going to move that one down. And this process goes pretty fast, you know, and it's fun. It's really, really fun. So I love doing this. I love going into the Dollar Tree. Go ahead and throw this away when you're done with it. We have not figured out something to do with this part yet. But I love going in the Dollar Tree and looking at the flowers and seeing how much bang for my buck I can get and things like that. So I'm just going to go through and cut off more of these. And I've hit one of these labels, so I'm just going to peel off the label here, and slide my little flowers up, my little leaves here, and then cut this guy off. And we also, like I mentioned, have 2 extra of the yellow and the white, so we'll see how much this gets us. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut another white one. As I'm mixing them up and kind of seeing the colors, I'm seeing a lot more color than white. And I would like to see some white in here too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a couple more of these. And they'll always be on standby if I need to snip off some more. It's always good to have too much than not enough, guys. Who would want to almost finish a wreath? That sounds terrible to me. I want to finish the wreath. So I'm just going to keep cutting these, and I'm just going to cut 1 more for now, and then if I need any more later, I can totally snip them. So we've got our pile of flowers here, and our wreath form is right here. It is from, again, the Dollar Tree, and we have hot glue, and make sure you have plenty of that, and make sure you let it heat up well. We're going to be using it quite a bit today. And what we're going to do, this is some firm foam too. I meant to tell you guys, this foam is really, really firm. I might have to get our Cricut pokey tool and poke some holes where I want our flowers, to be honest. But we're just going to kind of start. This is a time where it's really easy to get overwhelmed, you know, when you're seeing all the flowers and you're seeing your wreath form and you just kind of don't really know what to do. But do not get overwhelmed, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is something that I recommend doing while a show is on, while you watch Netflix. You know, it's kind of like mindless crafting. You really don't want to, you know, think too much into it or anything like that. And I'm going to go through these sometimes and clip off even more of the stem if I see fit. So I'm just going to clip off a little bit more of that guy there, and I'm going to see how it goes when I just push it in. So it's all about kind of just testing, and that stayed in perfectly. I am super happy with that. So I'm going to go through now and add some hot glue, a little dab of hot glue, twist that so you get the strings away, and then you're going to just stick that right back in the hole that you made. So that is beautiful, guys. I absolutely love that. So we're just going to keep going along, keep trucking, okay? I'm going to get a white one here. I'm going to add, well, I'm going to trim him off first because I realize now these tails are still a bit too long for my liking. So I've cut them down. So if you're watching this, hopefully before you create one, or if you're creating along with me, I apologize for you having to cut all those off. But if you are watching this before you make it, go ahead and cut those to an inch max there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our other one, and you can make these as close together or as far apart as you want. There's no rhyme or reason there. And you can see I angled this one kind of this way and this one kind of this way, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. So look how long this one is. What is happening with me today, guys? That is so long. So I'm going to add our hot glue, And you guessed it, guys, I'm just going to kind of go in this little groove here where nothing's been and just push our flower in. And we're just really getting it nice and full. And this will be hung, you know, so it's definitely going to be hung up. So just kind of make sure you fill in the sides as well, because it's really easy to just want to go in and kind of fill in, you know, the top where people are looking, but definitely make sure you're filling in what needs to be filled in as well. I'm going to be super nitpicky and cut off like a millimeter of that one, but that's just me, guys. Add your little dab of glue there. I'm going to go in here. You can move the petals if you need to. Sorry if you're just seeing my head. I will move, I promise. And we're just kind of trucking along. This is looking so cute. And sometimes you got to get in there with your hair. You know, you got to get in there. So we're going to come along with another yellow one. Looks really pretty. Where's my cutters? There's my cutters. I'm going to cut this off. And the flowers did go in beautifully with the foam. So you do not, it is not like a must for you guys to have to use the hot glue. But in my personal opinion, it just kind of gives it a little look. It just kind of really helps it out. So we're just going to keep going. It just kind of secures it more, if that makes sense. Like, it'll stick down fine, it'll probably stay fine, but if you're putting this outside, you want to keep this for a few years, you probably just need to go ahead, bite the bullet, and just add a couple little dabs of hot glue as you go. It's not the biggest deal, and it'll end up looking great either way. So we're gonna keep going. I'm really excited. Look how long this one is. Goodness, Rachel, what are you doing? I'm gonna pull that off and add some hot glue. And stick it down. And the hot glue almost makes it slippery, if that makes sense. So definitely watch out for that. But I go through here, snip our end off, add some hot glue, add our flower. Looks really good. Love it, guys. It's going along so pretty. And this is just kind of what you do. It's really repetitive, and that's totally fine. So to save you all the heartache of listening to me ramble about goodness knows what for probably 20 minutes while I make this, I'm going to go ahead and make this and speed this up for you guys so you guys can see the process. And then we will come back when we are almost finished. Well, guys, I'm coming up on my close to last, if not last, little flower here. I'm going to end with this little white one here. And I think I'm going to end up adding another one around this side here. Ooh, I burnt myself. I think I'm going to add another one right over here to kind of just finish it off. Or maybe I'll add a yellow one. Let's see, we have some yellow ones left as well. I'll cut one of these off and see how the difference looks. That's a great thing you can do as well if you're kind of having a hard time figuring that out. And I could do this. I think I'm going to do this. Add a yellow one right here and a white one, another white one there. So I'm going to take this here, hot glue, add us a little dab there, and add our white flower in right there. And then I'm going to take our yellow one and add some hot glue. I'm going to come over here to the side over here and add our yellow one over here. And now is the time that you want to pick off any of your little hot glue strings that you can see, and you can do that super easily. And now we just had a little bit of flowers left over, not too many, which is great. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get started on our Cricut. We're going to get started on our little plate that says bloom here. So let's go ahead and head over to Design Space. So here we are in Cricut Design Space, and as you can see, we just have our little word here that we really, really love that is bloom. And we got this from Makers Gonna Learn. So if you go over here to Makers Gonna Learn, you can see everything that we have. We have courses, summits, videos, projects, cut files, fonts, and things like that. So we're gonna go over here to fonts, and I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of what we have going on. So we have so many fonts to choose from. You can see we have a ton of fonts. We have new fonts, basic fonts, fancy fonts, hand letter, monogram, script fonts, Just so many fonts to choose from. But today we are going to be using a really fun one, and it is called Ballin'. So we're going to go over here and I'm going to show you Ballin'. So here you can see Ballin', and this is the one that we're going to use. So we're going over here. We already downloaded it. If you are looking to know how to download and use fonts on your desktop, we do have some videos and trainings for that on Tanner's YouTube page. Or if you're a member, we have those in your member resources. But today we are going to go through and I'll just show you guys how to do this, of course. So we are going to go, we're going to tap it, and then we're going to go to text, because we're going to make a brand new text tool here. And we're going to go over here. I probably did that a little too fast for you guys. I'm going to hit text and go over here to fonts up in the top left hand corner. And then we're going to go to, it's normally set for all fonts. We're going to go to system fonts. That is where all of your downloaded fonts will be seen. And then we're going to type in Ballin'. And you can see it right here. So we're going to click that. And then we're going to go down here to our text box and we are going to write Bloom. Now, I already tried this with a capital B and I was not impressed by it. I did not love it, to be quite honest with you. So we're not going to be using a capital B. We're just going to be using the lowercase, and I think it's really, really pretty lowercase anyways. So how we did this as well was we took our letter space here and we just are bringing this letter space down. So we're up here clicking the letter space so you can see the letters getting closer together, and eventually we'll be able just to stop when they look perfect. And honestly, this is one of the easiest words I've ever had to use because there's not a ton of kerning going on. You're not going to have to ungroup it and move them all around and make sure they touch and don't touch anything else. They touch each other perfectly, so that's exactly what we want. So once you have that, guys, we're going to go down here to the bottom right corner and we're going to select weld. Now, it's very important to weld any type of word that you have that is cursive, because they, when they touch, they need to be welded so they don't cut as individual letters even though they're touching. And that's what would happen if you just attach that. So we're going to go ahead and erase that one because we do have our finished one right here. And now what you're going to want to do is measure your little wood piece. And I'm just taking a measuring tape and going to measure our little one. And we have, I would say, 4.5 by 2 to work with, 4.5 wide. So I'm just going to select, I'm going to go up here to the width, and I'm going to do 4.5, enter. And that made the height 1.603. So that looks really, really good. 4.5, and then the height on that looks really, really good. So just go through, measure that as you would. I didn't have to show you that. You guys definitely know how to measure something. So just go ahead and measure your little wood piece. And once you have this exactly how you want it, just go ahead and click make it. Now we are going to be using HTV for this, so definitely hit that mirror button over there. You want to make sure this comes out well. And you're going to hit continue. And it's just connecting to our machine here via USB. And we're going to set our material, which is everyday iron-on. We're going to give that more pressure. And now we're going to go through and load our mat into our machine. So here's our mat, and we're going to put our glitter iron-on down. And I just forgot, guys, literally it just reminded me that we are not using regular iron-on. We're using glitter iron-on. So make sure you go in there and reset those settings for glitter, because glitter will cut very differently than regular iron-on will. So we're going to go through and just make sure we have selected that correctly. So here we're going to go back up to everyday iron-on, and we're going to select browse all materials, and we're going to go up and we're going to type in glitter. You can see right here when we type in glitter, there's glitter iron-on. We're going to select that, give that more pressure as well, and then now we're good to go to load in our mat. And we're just going to load in our mat here and press that flashing Cricut button. And now I can see where it has cut at. It cut very, very well. So now I'm just going to take our Cricut True Control knife here, and I'm going to cut around this. I don't want to waste any of this iron-on, so I'm going to cut around it and peel up our excess here. And now you can see it has the perfect amount here that we can now weed. So I'm just going to grab a corner here and pull up and just weed this. This is going to look really pretty in the middle of our wreath. I'm really excited to see how it looks. So just weed this out, and then you're going to go in and weed out the middle of these. Now I'm going to look to make sure, and I can tell this is 2 here, so I'm going to weed out that, there we go. Weed out the middle of our L here. Here we go. This is so cute. I love this font too, guys. Again, this is a Makers Gonna Learn only font. If you're not a yearly member, you do not get the font. But look how cute. This is gonna look so cute on our wood here. And speaking of our wood, we're gonna check on how it is drying. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and set our baby Easy Press. It needs to be set to 300 for wood, probably a little higher for glitter HTV. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do 310 just to be safe. Might not be 310, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so I'm just gonna let this heat up, and then our little wood piece is not perfectly dry yet. So what I'm gonna do is while that is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and use a heat gun on this to try and get this to dry a little quicker for us. And then I'm also gonna get our Teflon sheet in order to kind of protect our wood from the heat of the plate being on there without any protection. So I'm gonna go do those 2 things while our Easy Press is heating up. And now our Easy Press is heated up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our wood piece right down here, and then first and foremost, we're gonna go ahead and heat that wood up. So we're gonna heat that up and preheat our wood so that we can get really good success with this project here. So we're just gonna heat that for a few seconds here and then remove that. Open this up, and that is, yep, it's heated, preheated very well. So now we're gonna take our balloon, and we're gonna lay our balloon down right where we want it. And that looks really, really good to me. Maybe scoot it over just a hair. I want it to be pretty even here. Let's see. Be picky, guys, you know, get it exactly how you want it. And that looks really, really good. So I'm gonna leave it right like that. I'm gonna lay our our Teflon sheet back down, and I'm gonna apply our heat. Hit that button, and I'm gonna give really, really good pressure for 30 seconds. You wanna give good pressure because this is a wood project, and then it's also glitter HTV. So unlike normal HTV, I'm gonna give this a little bit more pressure. So you guys do the same thing, but be careful not to move it around too much. We wanna give good up and down even pressure without moving it around too much. And our timer is up, so we're just gonna take this and put it back on its cradle, and we're gonna let this guy cool, because all wood projects do best when they're cool. And I like to tell people this, I love to educate people. When you're using HTV on wood, it's so easy to assume that it's kind of like a t-shirt. You know, you apply the HTV down and then you just peel up your transfer paper and that's it. Boom, bam, done. But with a t-shirt, your HTV has something to cling to. It can cling to the cotton, the fibers, you know, in your t-shirt. So it clings to those, and then while it's still hot, you can remove that transfer paper the transfer tape, because it is still bonded to that fabric. This is not a fabric, this is wood. So the only thing that is bonding to the wood is the adhesive that's heat activated. That's the only thing. The heat activated adhesive is not bonding to any materials, any fibers like it is a t-shirt. It's bonding to the wood. So it's really just kind of sticking there. It's kind of just like a glue that's only there once it's heated, is a great way to think about it. So, and this guy's still really hot, so I really want this to cool down. So I'm just going to kind of fan it around a little bit. But that is why you want it to cool before you peel it, because that adhesive doesn't really have anything to stick to. So if you stick it to the wood, you have to make sure that it is cooler before you remove it, or else it'll peel up with you, because it's not dry and really stuck down yet, which is what I love to say. So it's cooled down quite a bit. So I'm going to get the camera real close up in here as we peel this off. I'm going to get a corner here. And you can see this coming off beautifully. And you can just get like a little tool or something and knock all this glitter off, all that glitter from the sides. It comes off if you scrape it. So just scrape all that off so you can do without that. And then we're going to pop this onto our pretty little wreath. Here's their pretty little wreath, guys, and you can find your pretty side or whatever, you know, way you want to put it on here. But you can put this in the center, you can put it down below, you can put it on the bottom here. I think we're going to nestle ours down here in the bottom here. So what we're going to do that is it's actually a really easy process. We're going to take our hot glue and we're going to add a lot of it down at the bottom where we're going to adhere this to our flowers, and this will help the flowers kind of adhere without getting really messy. So while it's still wet, you gonna kind of have to, you know, be kind of quick about it. You're just gonna find your spot and you're just gonna add it and push it down. Make sure it's adhering. Push up with your fingers if you're super brave to make sure the petals are sticking to all that hot glue you've got. And oh, I just feel like I'm going to burn myself, but I haven't yet, guys. So let that cool, and then it's not going anywhere, okay? It is stuck down, and that is so pretty. So here is your little wreath here. I love the way it looks. This was all done by Dollar Tree, and then I had a little piece of wood here. In my craft station, we use a piece of scrap glitter black iron-on, which is beautiful, and this is just a so cute little wreath that you can use anytime in your home that you made for really cheap. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I absolutely love the way that our wreath turned out. You can make this in just a few minutes. This is perfect to turn on while you're watching TV and, you know, relaxing at the end of your day. You always need to slip in some crafts to your day-to-day to just really give you energy and to help de-stress you and things like that. And this is a great one that is also super cheap. You can switch out these summer flowers for fall flowers and write harvest or pumpkin or whatever you wanted to on our little white piece there. And again, we did get those at Hobby Lobby in a pack of a couple. I will link all of the things that we use down below if I can, so bear with me there, but definitely check below if you want to know where to find any of these goodies. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. I love the way it turned out. I think it's so super cute. I can't wait to hang it up. You can display this a ton of different ways like I'm doing now, say setting it on a table. You can use it as home decor. You can put it on your door, whatever you want to do. Please do it. I had so much fun making this video for you guys. As always, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more crafty goodness like this. Leave us a comment down below if you have any questions for us, and definitely check out the very first link below if you love this font and you want to see how you can get it, plus a ton of other member perks at makersgonnalearn.com. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay crafty, guys. Bye.